Create a YouTube 16:9 video using this script, table of contents about 7 sections. 1. A world in flux BRICS and the quest for a new order. 2. Pakistan's rationale, the push for BRICS membership. 3. The economic equation. 4. The political chessboard, a new seat at the global table. Section 1. A world in flux. BRICS and the quest for a new order. The global economic landscape is shifting, and at the heart of this transformation is the BRICS bloc. The group represents a large share of the world's economic output. It also represents a large share of the world's population, and its reshaping international relations expanded BRICS nations account for roughly 30% of global GDP, PPP. That's a staggering figure. They are home to over 40% of the global population, a massive human resource and consumer market. This isn't just a club of emerging economies, it's a coalition challenging Western-led institutions and advocating a multipolar world order. BRICS began as an economic grouping, but its ambitions have grown. It now acts as a political platform, coordinating on key global issues. United Nations reform, international trade policies. The new development bank, the NDB, was established. Section 2. Pakistan's rationale, the push for BRICS membership. Pakistan's interest in joining BRICS is driven by several clear factors. First, economic diversification and growth. BRICS is seen as a gateway to vast, dynamic markets, gaining preferential access to the economies of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and the newly added members. That access could unlock opportunities for Pakistani exports facing barriers in Western markets. Increased trade volumes could help a country with a persistent trade deficit and low foreign exchange reserves. This is about new avenues for economic survival and prosperity. Beyond trade, development financing. Pakistan needs major infrastructure investment in energy transportation, digital connectivity. The new development bank could be a funding source with fewer austerity conditions than IMF or World Bank loans. BRICS-led financing could accelerate projects, create jobs, and boost productive capacity. This could break cycles of debt and dependency and help economic sovereignty. The political dimension matters too. Section 3. The economic equation, promises of prosperity and peril. In the short term, the economic impact of Pakistan joining BRICS would likely be more symbolic than substantive, but it would set the stage for future changes. An immediate effect could be a boost in investor confidence, signaling that Pakistan is aligning itself with a group of major growth economies. This could attract portfolio investments and generate positive sentiment in financial markets. Trade flows would not change overnight, as negotiating new agreements takes time. However, existing trade with China, already Pakistan's largest trading partner, could be further streamlined. For instance, if BRICS moves more seriously towards using local currencies for trade, Pakistan could reduce its transaction costs and its heavy reliance on the US dollar, which would help stabilize its own currency. Looking at the medium to long term, the potential economic benefits become much more pronounced. If Pakistan successfully integrates into the BRICS economic framework, it could see a significant increase in its exports. Imagine Pakistani textiles, surgical goods, agricultural products gaining easier access to a combined market of over 3 billion people. Furthermore, investments from the new development bank and other BRICS-led funds could pour into transformative projects. This could mean the construction of new highways connecting rural areas to urban centers. Joining the BRICS bloc would undeniably elevate Pakistan's political and diplomatic standing on the global stage, providing its leaders with a regular high-level forum to engage with the heads of state from some of the world's most influential non-Western powers. This is not just about attending summits. It's about being part of the conversation that shapes the collective stance of the global South. Pakistan could use this platform to advocate more effectively for its national interests, seeking support on the Kashmir dispute, promoting its counter-terrorism narrative, calling for reforms in global financial institutions that it views as inequitable. It would transition from being a subject of global debates to a participant in them. This enhanced diplomatic leverage could also strengthen Pakistan's position within other international organizations, most notably the United Nations. By coordinating its positions with other BRICS members, Pakistan could contribute to a more powerful voting bloc, capable of influencing resolutions and appointments within the UN system. The BRICS have often expressed a shared desire for a more democratic and representative Security Council. As a member, Pakistan could add its voice to this call for reform. This collective diplomacy could provide a shield against unilateral pressures or sanctions from Western powers. However, this new seat at the table comes with its own set of expectations and pressures. The security implications of Pakistan joining BRICS are profound and multifaceted, particularly for the delicate balance of power in South Asia. A primary effect would be the formal institutionalization of Pakistan's strategic alignment with China, with Russia. That would move Pakistan beyond bilateral deals and embed it in a broader security and political framework. For Pakistan's defense establishment, this could open doors to advanced military technology, joint training exercises, enhanced intelligence sharing. Islamabad would see this as bolstering defensive capabilities and countering regional threats. The most immediate security challenge centers on India, a founding BRICS member. Pakistan and India would become two nuclear-armed rivals inside the same exclusive club. That situation brings both risk and opportunity. It could create a platform for direct dialogue between Islamabad and New Delhi, with other BRICS members acting as neutral mediators. Or it could import subcontinental rivalries into BRICS and risk paralyzing its decision-making as members are pressured to pick sides. Regionally, Pakistan's accession would be closely watched by neighbors, Iran, Afghanistan. The international reaction would be decidedly mixed. It would reflect a fractured global geopolitics. China would strongly welcome Pakistan joining BRICS. Russia would likely be supportive too. Other global South countries, especially aspirants, would view accession positively. Western capitals, especially Washington, would react with caution. An outright hostile U.S. reaction is unlikely, but it could prompt a reassessment, less strategic engagement, more transactional ties. India's reaction would be the most complex and critical. As a BRICS member, India would technically have to consent. Publicly, Indian diplomats might call it an engagement opportunity. Privately, there'd be deep concerns about internationalizing Kashmir. That could strain BRICS's internal cohesion. In conclusion, the prospect of Pakistan joining the BRICS bloc is a double-edged sword, laden with both transformative potential and considerable risks. On one side, membership offers the promise of access to vast new markets. To maximize gains and mitigate risks, Pakistan needs a clear, pragmatic strategy.